And I told you that we have three basic univariance measures. The first one is variance, the second one is standard deviation, and the third one is coefficients of variance. Are you with me, sir?
Okay. Yeah.
Aha. And from the word univariance, it means that we are actually considering a single similar variables. Single similar variables. You understand? When you are trying to compare a particular column, are you getting me?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
another thing that you must know is that we are starting with variance. After variance, we'll go to standard deviation. After standard deviation, we'll go to coefficients of variance. And if you can remember, the last topic I treated was what? Was measurement of central tendency. That's when I taught you about mean, median,
Yeah.
and mode. So this topic
Yeah.
will give you a better understanding why we need to take mean, median, and mode before taking variance. So I will start with the definition of variance. What is variance? Variance is the measurement of the dispersion of data points to the what? To the average. Let me give you a simple example. For example, maybe you're in a center of a particular room. Are you with me, sir?
Yeah. Yeah.
And in the center, you actually you dotted or you mark a particular spot, which is the what? Which is the mean. Do you understand? You know, the meaning of mean is what?
Yeah.
Average. But I'm just trying to
Yes.
use middle. You understand? So that you understand what I mean by. So you mark a particular center of that room, and oh, this is the mean. Let's assume you the middle of that room, and you remove your ball and you put it close to the marked points. You know that the more you take it away, the more dispersed is the ball from the middle that you mark or from the main that you mark. Are you getting me, sir?
Yeah.
So now, when you're talking about variance, variance is the measurement of the what? Of the dispersion of what? Data points from what? From mean. So when you're talking
Okay.
about data points, you know, that's why I have a very good example that I'm quickly going to show you in Excel. Maybe that will help us to explain that better. Let me quickly go to Excel and show you the data we want to use. I'm sure you can see my screen. I have
Yes.
subject here. I have maths, I have English, and I have science. Are you with me, sir?
Yeah.
Don't forget that I said univariate statistical measures.
Mm-hmm.
That is, we are dealing with a single column. And I just want to use that native word because some people they are not when they hear variable. You know, I told my student it's just like you are considering a particular column. You understand? Aha. So now math is a variable. The entire column of math is a variable. The entire column of English is a variable, and the entire column of science is a what? A variable.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't want you to be confused. I said univariance. So the fact that I'm considering three column does not mean that it is not still univariance. Let me explain.
Okay.
Let me explain. Now, univariance means that I'm considering the what? Because each of these columns they are dealing with score. So for mass, for that single column mass, I'm considering the dispersion of these values from the what? From the mean or from the average. So that means I will need to first get the what? The mean of each of these data.
Okay.
Hello? So
Okay.
how will I get the mean? Because later we are going to be taking a topic that we call bivariance. When you're talking about bivariance, possibly maybe I'm considering size variable and I'm also considering price. That one is bivariance. Why? Because size is entirely different from what? From price. Hello?
Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah, but in this case, math is a score, English is a score, science is still a what? A score. So I'm just trying to consider for mass as a univariance how dispersed are the data point from their mean. So let me calculate the mean of each of them. Because for you to be able
O-
to do this, that means you must know the mean first. So what is the mean? I've told you, mean simply means the sum of everything divided by the n. So that means sum from here to this place. Then I will not divide it with the what? With the total outcome, which is what? They are 10, right? Divided by 10.
Yes.
Uh-huh. So the mean for this is 79 point what? Point 8. So to get the mean for others, I will just drag across like this. Am I making any sense?
Yeah.
So that means I now have the mean for maths, I have the mean for English, I have the mean for what?
Mhm.
For science. Are you
For
following?
science. Mhm.
Now,
Can you write the mean? Write.
okay, yeah, let me write it in front. Mean. Thank you. Mean. Mean. Are you following, sir? Okay.
Yeah.
So
No.
I've written the mean for each of them, the mean for maths, the mean for
Mhm.
English, and the mean for science. And please don't be disturbed. Normally, by the time you are working for real life projects, you don't need to be doing calculation. Just go to your what? Your SPSS and it will calculate for you. But I want you to
Yes.
understand the basics. That is why I'm going through this stress. Are you getting me, sir?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
It's
now,
fine.
by the time I know the mean of each of them. So by knowing the mean, that means I can know how dispersed is each of these score.
Ah.
Because the essence of this is that, oh, in a school, they want to know which subject did the student really perform very well, or is the performance consistent. It's very possible that in a class, let me say in GSS 1 now, they are doing maths, they are doing English, they are doing science. Oh,
Yeah.
and you now saw just 5 students that scored 90 and the others scored 30. Did they perform very well?
Mm.
Should I repeat what I said?
Yeah. It's
And in a class, it's only two people that pass in a class of 20. Did they perform
20.
very well in that class?
No.
That's what I'm saying. So variance will help you to know the consistency of the what? Of their score.
Okay.
So now, because let me quickly tell you the real life application and how we interpret the value we are going to get at the end of the day. If at the end of the day for mass, if mass has a very high variance, do you know the meaning? It means that the dispersion is too high, is far from the what? From the mean.
Mm.
And that
Okay.
means that the performance is poor. But when the
Okay.
variance is low, it means the performance is what? Is good.
Okay.
Now, let me expand and let you understand what I mean by the performance is good. Now, when you say a performance is good, it means that on the average, most of the students, what they did consistently very good. Or let me say their
Yes.
score is what? Is very close to each other and they all pass. Are you getting me? But when the
Yeah.
variance is high, it means that just few pass and a lot of them also what? Fail. So before we
Yeah.
go into the formula and solving variance, let me quickly tell you the real life application. Or should we first, let's first solve it before we talk about the real life application, please. Okay.
Okay.
So let's go to the formula now. I've explained very well. Let's go to the formula. Now, look at it. I will explain this formula to you. Now, you must understand that all these univariants, I'm talking about the likes of variance, the likes of standard deviation, and coefficients of variance, you must always have the population formula and the what? And the sample formula. Now, what is the
Okay.
difference? Population formula means that maybe in a class of 100, if you are considering all the 100, that means you are dealing with what? Population. But if I only pick
Yeah.
10 out of the class of 100, I'm what? I'm talking about what? Sample.
Yeah.
Am I
Some.
making any sense?
Yes. Yes.
Most time, statistics are always done most time with sample. So that means that because this one is population formula, the next one is sample formula. And don't be scared, they're almost the same thing. The difference is that the first one, you will divide by what? N. While the second one, you will minus 1 from N. So if there are 10 students, you will remove what? 1, making what? 9. Am I making any sense, sir?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Yeah. I got
Okay, okay, okay. So let me continue. Now, it now means that for you to get what we call variance, you will do summation of xi minus the what? Minus the mean square.
you. Mm-hmm.
Let's go and do the numerator. I remember in class, there's numerator, there's denominator. The numerator is the upper
Yeah.
formula, which is what? Summation of what? Xi minus what? Minus mean, then you square. Let's go and do that in our Excel, then we'll come back. So now let me tell you the meaning of this. So I'll come here. I want to do that of mass.
Yeah.
Let me just say mass numerator. The meaning of this is, look at me, look at the formula. The formula says I should write equals each of this core minus what? Mean. Is that not what we saw?
Yeah.
Bracket. I will now square it. I will give it square. How will I give it square? There's something we call carry. How will I call it? Carry.
Uh,
It gives you carrots. That's the symbol we call carrots. I will now put it
okay.
here. So it means that raised to power what? 2.
Two. Okay.
Am I making sense? So I will enter.
Mm-hmm.
So that I will not be doing it one after the other. The next thing I will do is I'm supposed to drag down. But do you know it will not be correct? Let me show you. Let me double click on it. Do you know what he's doing? He's doing this one again, this next score, and he's subtracting it from what? From nothing. Abi?
Oh.
Instead of subtracting
Mm-hmm.
from 79.8, let me tell you what you would do. So I will go back to the beginning. Look at me. If you can remember, I taught you about reference in Excel. There's two type of reference. We have absolute reference and relative reference. So what I would do is that I will lock this B12 by putting dollar sign in front of that 12. Look at me. Let's drag again. Wow, it's correct now. Let me confirm. Let me click on this place. Did you see?
Yeah.
That means 85 minus what? 79.8. Let's go to the next place. Can you see 90 minus what?
Plus, so,
79.8. But the second one also, like that, to the what? To the end. So at the end of the day, don't forget I said we should get the summation. Am I right?
yeah.
So it now be equals what? Sum from the beginning to the what? To the end.
Yeah.
And I will close my bracket. This is the summation for what? For math. So let's do for English. English numerator. So for English also, it's got equals,
Mm-hmm.
open bracket, this, Abi, minus the
Yeah.
mean of English. Am I right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then caret 2, that is raised to power 2. Then I will do something. I will lock
The dollar sign.
C12. Yeah, by putting dollar sign. I'll press enter. At the end of the day, I'll drag down. So how will I know that it's correct? This one minus 76.4, Abby. Go to
Mhm.
the next one. Can you see that it's correct? So let's leave there. After that, I'll do the summation equals what? Sum from the beginning to the what? To the end. I'm still doing the numerator. I'll go to the last one, science. I also do the same thing, equals minus what? Minus the mean,
Mhm.
then caret what? 2. Then I will lock. Okay, it's correct. Then at the end of the day, I'll do what? Equals sum from the beginning to the what? To the end. Are you following? So
Yeah.
that means
Yeah.
we've done the top formula. That's the meaning of this. We've done the what?
Yeah.
The top formula. Let me show you. This is the top formula. That is summation xi minus what? Like the mean square 2. So the only one that's remaining is what? The denominator. That is n minus what? N minus 1.
Minus one.
Because we are using sample. Do you understand? So
Mhm.
we now come like this. So I now want to get math variance. Math what? Variance. So how do we get math variance? Don't forget, we know the is numerator already. So we just say equals this place. Are you getting me? Divided by
Yeah.
9. Do you know why it's 9? That is 10 minus what? Minus
Minus one.
1. So that's why it's 9.
Yeah.
So this is the variance of what? Of math. So let's go to English. English variance. So even variance will also be what? Equals this divided by what? Divided by 9. Then the last one is going to be what? Science what? Variance, which is got to equals what? This divided by what? 9. Now, since we now have the what? We now have the variance. Wow, we are getting to the head because we now know the variance for maths, for English,
Math.
and for what?
English.
And for science. So
Yeah.
now the next thing we need to just know is that let me interpret it before I will now go to what? I will now go to SPSS to do it. The meaning of this is that who has the lowest variance?
The lowest range.
Yeah, look at it now. This call English, maths, and science. Which one
Yeah.
has the
Math.
lowest? Eh?
The lowest is the English.
Thank you, English. Do you know the meaning? The meaning is that the student did consistently what? Good. That is almost all of
Good.
them they pass, even all of them.
Yeah. Because it has lower range.
Yes, because that's lower. Eléyìí tó jẹ́ mass, the one that is mass means that it's just few that pass and a lot of them. So there's no consistency. So that's the word
Yeah.
in the performance. So I would say that the highest performed subject is what? English variance. Are you getting me, sir? So now the
Yeah.
next thing is
Yeah.
that instead of wasting our time, let's just go and do it in in SPSS so that we would round up the class and I will tell you the real life application. So now let's really do it in SPSS. So I'll just go. So if you have a real life project, you don't need to be wasting your time in Excel. Oh. So just come to file, open data, then I think it's in documents, Excel, variance, Excel, open. Sorry, I'm waiting for it to open. Okay, while that one is waiting, let me quickly see it. This is A1 to what? To C11. No, sorry, to D11.
Mhm.
Okay, it has come. So it's correct. Variance A1 to what? D11. I'll
So
click on OK. Can you see? It has bring the data to what? To SPSS. After that, you don't need to stress yourself. Just go to what? Analyze, descriptives, and descriptive statistics. From there, you now drag each of the what? Math, English, and what? Science. After that, go to options. Then you pick what you need. So from here, sef, if I still need the mean, I'll tick mean. I'll tick standard deviation. I'll tick what? Variance. So I can untick this minimum, maximum, blah, blah, blah. So, and I'll click on what?
Mhm.
Continue. Okay. You see that automatically to bring everything. Yeah, look at
Yeah.
it. This is the variance, right? Can you see that we are correct? Math is what?
Yeah.
145. English is what? 29.3. Science is what?
Okay.
36. Now, can you see that we are absolutely what? Correct
Yes.
with
Yes.
our calculation. Did we did you see that that really makes sense? So without wasting any time, with in fact within 1 minute, we've gotten it with our what? With our SPSS. That's the essence of using software. So you don't really need to stress yourself when you're analyzing data. The major thing is that
Yeah.
when anybody is bringing data, that's why we took our time to teach you the different data that we have, the different variables. Is it categorical? Is it numerical? Is it discrete? Is it continuous? All those things that we teach you, they are not just taking you for taking you sake. So take your time and go back and reflect on the topic that will be taking you. So while I round up, let me quickly tell you the real life applications of this topic. You can actually
Okay.
use it in education as we've just explained. You understand? So assuming that you have different subjects, math, English, science, so you want to really know in which, because data, you cannot just judge data by just looking at it. Hey, okay, someone scored 80. No, 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 you can't judge by that. Use statistics. You understand? Measurement to know what is really happening. So with the statistical method that
Um,
we've used, we can conclude that they really did well in what? In English. So now the interpretation, when you have a low variance, it means that most students score similarly, either all did well or what? Or poor. So they did what? They did similarly. Are you getting me?
yeah.
Aha. A high variance suggests some students did very well while others did poorly. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Aha. Do you know that in organization we can also know uh, if a machine is doing well with variance?
Okay.
Let me explain. For example, okay, let me use our okay, don't worry, don't let me use our company. Let me use another company. For example, maybe a company they actually manufacture maybe rod, and the diameter of the rod they always want it to be so valid. Do you understand? So at the end of the day, after they've used the machine, maybe for a year or a month, they can know the efficiency of this machine. Is this machine cutting this rod very well or not? Don't forget that there's a standard. Maybe the standard is 10 centimeters. Are you following? So at the end of the
Yeah.
day, they will now take all the cutting. Oh, maybe a day he cut 10.1, 10.0004, 10.00. Are you getting me? At the end of the day, it will calculate the mean. So from the mean, they can know the variance. So if they have a high variance, that means the machine is not working effectively because the rate at which it's cutting that thing is not equal.
Okay.
So you can also use to know what? Quality control. That's what I mean by quality control in manufacturing company. So we've told you about the real life application in education as well. Are you getting me? Do you know that
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
as that's why I used to smile. There are some people that do all these, what is it called? All these all these what is all this internet stuff that they do, cryptocurrency, and all these
Yeah.
there's another popular one. What's it back?
Forex.
Forex. Thank you, forex. So by the time you want to
Yeah.
trade, maybe I decide to trade on a coin. What you're supposed to do is that go and look at the history of that coin. Are you getting me?
Mm.
How consistent, how stable is
Yeah.
that coin? You understand? I will not just know it by just looking at it. I will go and if I can know the average
Yeah.
of the what? Average of the sales. Are you getting me? That they used to sell that particular coin or they used to buy it. So I will now use variance to go and calculate it. So maybe there are two coin I want to invest on. So by the time I use variance, the one that has what? That has low variance is the one that is good, is the one that is more stable and is the best to invest in. Are you getting this? Sir? So you are not just
Yeah.
learning data analysis for learning sake. They can even use it in sports. For example, maybe as a coach, you have three players. Are you getting me? And you want to know their performance. Oh,
Yeah.
the fact that in a week a particular player did well, you can't use it to judge if he's the best player. But what are you going to do? You check the performance maybe for like 3 months or for like 7 or 10 months or for a year. So by the time you now pick those three players and
Okay.
you check their performance separately like this, you can now calculate the variance. So that means you start by the mean. So at the end of the day, you will know the best what? The best player to use. Are you getting me, sir? Are you getting me, sir? So I think at this level, I'm going to call it short. So next class, prepare yourself. We are going to be taking standard deviation and
Yeah.
what is it called? And coefficients of
Yeah.
variance. And I want to assure you that indirectly we've done standard deviation. Let me tell you the reason. Standard deviation, standard deviation is simply the what? The square root of what? Variance. So let me show you. Standard deviation is simply the what? The square root of variance. Let me show you on the screen. It's simply, can you see? It's the square root of what? Variance. They are the same thing. They have the same definition, but it's simply the what? The square root of what? Of variance. Okay. Are you getting me? Just the square
Yeah.
root. But you don't even need to stress yourself. I've told you,
Okay.
you can easily use your what? Your SPSS. Let's look at the last one we did. I pray I still have it. Okay, the one, can you see that it has given us the what? The standard deviation. So can you see that English is still the one that has the least the least standard deviation. So it means it's the
Yeah.
most consistent subject that the student actually pass. And most time, we prefer to do measurements with standard deviation. Do you know the reason? The reason is because it has a normal unit, unlike variance that we need to square. You understand?
Yeah.
So take your time and go through it. See you in the next class. Thank you.